The perfect gift is to play a game with them. Play a game with them.
Play a game with them.
Hey everybody, what is up? My name is Mackenzie.
And I'm Jonathan.
We are husband and wife, and we'd like to welcome you to TerreDice.
And today we're talking about gifts to buy for the gamers in your life.
Yeah.
So we got the holidays right around the corner. We got Black Friday in the US this week. So there's a lot of games, accessories, stuff out there. And we're going to tell you some of our favorites.
Yeah, so we put together a wide list. So for whatever type of gamer, new gamer, seasoned gamer, we have something for you and your loved ones on this list. So if that sounds like something you want to see, then just keep watching. So first I want to start out, what is the perfect gift to give to the gamer in your life? And we were discussing this a lot, and that is to play a game with them. Now, this sounds like a cop-out, but if you
Amen.
ask any gamer, like that is what you want. Like you want to be able to sit down and be able to play these games. So offering up your time to them over the holidays to be like, hey, what do you want to check off your list? Or if you got a game for them for Christmas, play it with them. Like, don't just send them off with that game. Be like, hey, let's play this right now. Because I know that's like what he has asked me and like family for Christmas. It's just to be able to play games.
Yeah. If you're choosing between like 3 games, buy the one that if they like opened it right after they got it, you'd be like, let's learn this, let's play this.
Yeah.
Because I think that's going to matter more than if they got some super heavy thing that they're going to like be learning forever and then never get to play.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So first category is 2-player. So we have covered lots of 2-player games on this channel. Best board game for couples, part 1 through 3, all still holds, but this is going to be 3 new games that are not included on those lists. And the first one is a game that came out this year, and that is Wingspan Asia, specifically the duet mode. Now,
Yes.
This is an expansion to the really well-known game Wingspan, which is where you are birders, or searching for birds and trying to catalog them and collect different points and collect eggs onto your board. Now, this is specifically a 2-player version of the game, which whittles it down, and one is yang and one is yin, and you compete for different categories. Now, we did a whole review on Wingspan Asia, so you can go check that out down below if you want to get more details on that.
Sweet. Another 2-player game is Jekyll versus Hyde. This is a trick-taking game for 2 players, where 1 player is Jekyll, 1 player is Hyde. And the goal for Jekyll, Dr. Jekyll, is to like keep things balanced. He wants to lose as many tricks as he wins. And the goal for Mr. Hyde is that he wants to either win all the tricks or lose all the tricks. He wants to throw it as far into madness as he can. So it's kind of cool. You got that push and pull in whichever direction you want. And if you can cause enough difference over the rounds, then Hyde will win. So I think it's a super fun, tight little trick-taking game. Some really cool mechanisms in it. You change the order in which the suits win. It's really great.
And number 3 for 2-player, that is going to be Dice Throne.
Ooh, yeah. It's a Battle Yahtzee.
Yes.
So there are 2 versions of Dice Throne out there. We got regular Dice Throne, which is a bunch of different sci-fi, fantasy, fiction type characters. And then you have the Marvel Dice Throne, which is all the Marvel characters like Spider-Man, Doctor Strange. And what's cool about this game is basically you're going to roll your dice up to 3 times, end up with some set, and you're going to hit the person across from you. The reason we put this on the 2-player category is it plays at a lot of different player counts, but it plays exceptionally well at 2. So this is a really good game for you just want to sit and chuck some dice at each other and hit each other till your dial goes down.
They also sell like a lot of just like 2 packs. Like if you don't want to buy the entire like Dice Throne collection, they do sell like 2 characters. So that's why it's also really great for
That's all we
2-player
have.
as well. Yeah, that's all we have.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next category. All right, next category is going to be card games. Now, this is a 2-for-1 because card games also work as a fantastic stocking stuffer.
True that.
And so my mom loves to stick some card games in there. And first one on our list is wildly popular this year, and that is Scout. Now, Scout is now available because it was sold out for a while, but it is back in stock. And it is basically, it's a game where you are trying to beat the hand down in front of you with higher numbers and different combinations. It sounds simple, but it is a super fun game to play around a circle of friends. It's easy to teach, easy to learn, and it's one of those games you can play lots and lots of rounds when one sitting. So it's great if for families gathering together, pulling out this game. Like, it's a great game for that.
If you're familiar with the mechanics, it's a ladder climbing game where basically, if you can't beat what's there, you got to add a card to your hand, and you can't rearrange your hand. So you're only going to be able to play cards that are next to each other. It's kind of a really cool twist on it. It was one of the nominees for the Spiel des Jahres this year.
Yeah. So next up for the card games is Skull King. Now, we covered Skull King as a great trick-taking game. It is also, I would say, yeah, it's a great like fun party game, family game. Lots of these games like fall into the same categories.
A little long for a party game. You can shorten it.
Well, you go, yo-ho!
Yeah.
That's fun to say.
Yeah.
But it is a betting game. So you're trying to beat the hands that are laid down in front of you, and you bet a certain amount of what you're going to like put out there, and then you see if you beat everyone else in the circle. But yeah, it's a really fun game by Grandpa Beck's Games, and it's one of my favorite trick-taking games.
Yeah, very cool. Sweet. And the third one for this category would be Love Letter. So this is something that I think we've talked about before in the channel. But essentially, you can think of it like you're trying to get a love letter to the princess, and you're doing that by passing it from confidant to confidant up through, the baron, all these people in the royal family. They did retheme the game a couple times, so there is a Marvel love letter, which is Thanos against all the Avengers. It's actually pretty cool. It works pretty well. And then there's now a Star Wars love letter, which I saw a preview of it at Gen Con. It looked pretty cool, but it uses photograph art, which not as big of a fan of that. But you've got 3 options there. I love traditional love letter. It's great.
Yeah. All right, so we've mentioned lots of games. I want to jump into the accessories category now that we're a couple rounds through. Last year we released a video that was all accessories for the gamer who has everything in their life. So I still 100% recommend all the stuff from last year. So go watch last year's if you're looking for even more. But some of our top ones from that video is, I would say, getting someone a game mat, and specifically we love the game mats from Game Toppers.
Can't beat them.
So the game mat is basically enhances your experience, as well as like making it easier to pick up cards, roll dice, like just do things on the table. So you lay out a beautiful mat, and Game Toppers has so many beautiful designs and all different stuff, and it really helps bring out the theme.
I love using the space mat with
Yeah.
like Twilight Imperium. Using the Viking mat with Northgard was the best thing ever.
It's really cool. We even have one that's like just a wood table. So it's just like
works for everything else that the other themes don't catch.
Yeah, it's nice.
Good.
It's nice. So if you don't have one, or if you know someone has one, like getting them another one, because from what I know about gamers is they always want more game mats.
All right, we talked about what you put your games on. Now let's talk about what you put your games in. You got game bags. So we love our bags for toting our games around town. We go to meetups uptown. We like to play games at other people's houses. So for that, you need bags. And we love the bags from the Game Hall Game Night bags in particular are awesome.
Yeah.
Also, the miniature market bags are awesome. They've got this like side shoulder 2 game bag. It's the best. So we love those. Board Game Tables also has bags, which look great, but we don't own any.
We don't know those, but I specifically know Miniature Market is running some awesome Black Friday deals on these bags, so make sure you go and check that out as well. And Game Toppers usually also has some great Black Friday deals, so go check that out as well. And the last accessory on our list is Iron Clays by Roxley, and these are these beautiful coins. It was actually Jonathan's Christmas present last year. So let's say in a game you have like just a bunch of cardboard coins. Well, you can use Roxy Iron Clays to have just
like heavy poker chips.
Yeah, it's like heavy poker chips, but they're designed in a way they can really fit into like every theme. Like I would say, like
you could play them in a medieval game. You
Yeah.
could play them in a sci-fi game. You could play them in like Scythe or something like that.
Victorian theme. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. All right, next up has been my favorite category lately, and that is the beautiful, like, mid-heavyweight type games.
Yes.
Just, like, gorgeous games. And in that list, there's a couple I've been loving, starting off with Merchants of the Dark Road. That game is so pretty, and basically the idea is you are merchants who are going around town trading things, picking up travelers, and at some point you're going to go on expeditions out of the city. Now, this game's going to thrive at the, like, 3 to 4 player, where there's players going on expeditions all the time that you can join them on. And yeah, it's like a really cool rondel system game. I think it works really, really well. It's also just gorgeous thematic game, art by Andrew Bosley. So big fan of that game. So Mackenzie just told me I have to describe all three of these because these are my games. Yeah. Next up we got Oath, which is a game I got for Christmas last year. Big fan of that. Basically, it's by Leader Games. It is a follow-up to Root and some of those other games that they produce that are highly asymmetric. And essentially, you're going to be all these like royalish families who are, someone's going to be the chancellor and they're going to have like a lot of power, and then everyone else is kind of going to be roaming around like raiding the other players, like trading things and performing actions to basically try to increase their influence in this society. Maybe they'll be the next chancellor, because what's really cool about this game is that the world and the box changes every single time you play. So when you pull out your box of Oath next, you're going to have different cards out, different locations, different players going to be chancellor. So it really rewards repetitive plays because your game is going to get over time a lot more different than somebody else's copy of Oath, which I think is really cool. Components are gorgeous in this game. They also have a deluxe edition with like wood and gold. It's great stuff. Last up in my category is Fall of the Mountain King. So this is a game by Burnt Island Games, which is paired with Kid Table's board games, who did Creature Comforts and a bunch of those too. Their graphic design department is like out of this world. And essentially you are cave trolls who are fighting back these like gnomes that are invading. Think like Mines of Moria, Lord of the Rings. And we're all gonna die. That's the premise of the game. But you're these different troll clans who are trying to go down in the most glory. So when those gnomes come through the door, you want to be the one who dies because that's how you're gonna get points. It's also area control of this. And when you side with these different clans, like they'll send their hero champion to come fight with you. Super cool game, some really fun mechanics. I just like cannot wait to play this game again, so highly recommend it.
So next category is if you're getting a gift for someone that is new to gaming, they discovered it this year, they're obsessed, they're looking for like games. What more games can they put on their shelves? First one I'm going to suggest is it won the biggest Spiel Jars award this year, and that is Cascada. Now in Cascada you are trying to put together, I guess, a habitat of all these different animals, and there's different goals and different patterns to try and achieve of putting different types of animals together. And you just like are picking from in front of you the choice of tiles and placing them, and you're working in your own little space, and whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins. But it's a beautiful, fairly simple game, but it has a lot of replayability that you can go super deep into it. And there is a reason it won the award. We both enjoy it very much.
Yeah. And next up on our list is Quacks of Quedlinburg. So this is a push your luck game, a bag building game. What that means is you're going to be shoving a bunch of ingredients in your bag. You're going to pull them out one at a time, try to create a really potent potion, and you might explode. And if you do, you're going to lose some of that forward momentum.
Yeah.
Really fun game. It has some really interesting puzzles and some, do I pull the next tile? And it's just a great game to get into.
It can also be a great game if you have some family members that are willing to like just like sit there for a minute and like learn the rules, because it actually is just a really fun push your luck kind of game. So I recommend in that category as well.
Next up on our list for those new gamers is Azul. And we're not talking just regular Azul, that's fine. But Summer Pavilion, or harder than that, Queen's Garden, those are both great abstract puzzle games where you're gonna be trying to figure out how to make this beautiful sort of like tile floor. And so essentially the way that you play the game is you're going to be drafting these tiles. That means you're going to pick, I want these tiles, you want those tiles. That mechanism is that they're pretty well known for is a really interesting drafting mechanism. Once you get those tiles, you're going to cash them in to put them on different spaces on the board. Higher numbers meaning you have to turn in more tiles. And so once you create these groups of tiles, you're going to start getting more and more points based on the size of those groups, and then you'll score points at the end of the game for various different things.
Yeah, so last on this list is tiny towns. Now that is basically everyone's going to be creating their own little tiny town in front of them. So you're all working from this different material, so you're going to go around in the circle, and each person is going to say, all right, glass and brick. And then whatever they say, everybody has to take that, and they're trying to achieve certain requirements that are listed out there, but you have to basically make the best out of your situation, because you have to take whatever everyone else gives you, and once you build, let's say it requires 3 glass pieces, then you take that and you put a building on that, and you've achieved that goal. So you're trying to make the best out of the different building materials, and the person with the most points wins at the end of the game. But Tiny Towns is fantastic, really great for those new players on the scene.
I like it because it feels like you're trying to stay afloat, because you're going to cash in like all those cubes for one building, you get all those spaces back.
Yes.
And so it's like, oh, how long can I stay in and keep filling my space?
Next category is family games. Now, first one on this list is Rear Window. Now,
I love this game.
Yeah, so we have done a
good.
full review on Rear Window, and is basically what we say it is like what Mysterium should have been. So one person plays as Alfred Hitchcock, the film director. The other people play as, I guess, the watchers of they're watching the movie play out, and they are trying to figure out who are these characters and what is their relationship to everyone else. And there might have been a murderer, but that is for you to figure out if there was or not.
Okay, so people who say semi-cooperative games don't exist, this is the exception.
Yes.
It is so good because basically, no matter what, the person who is directing is trying to get everyone to get 90% of them right. But they want to potentially misdirect if there's a murder. And I think that last piece is so cool because you're going to say like, and they're having an affair. Oh, that was a murder? Oh my gosh. And so you really can see what's happening.
Yes.
And I think it's really cool.
Yes. Next to the family games, we have a Goofy movie, The Game. And that is also could fall under, this is like, I think if you have a younger kids in the family, if you're trying to pull them into the game, not for your teenagers playing with your parents.
But you did have a lot of fun with it.
Yes, it is fun, but I would recommend this more for you have little kids and you want to like sit down and play this game with them. I would say 6 up. So basically it is inspired by a Goofy movie from the 90s, and you are Max and Goofy and all his buddies trying to get across the country to beat Powerline to the concert. Yeah. So they're different, like it's you are trying to be the first one there and then achieve a different set collection and different points of pictures you will collect along the way. But it's a super fun game for those little kids out there to play with their family. And next, I suggest Catch the Moon, which we reviewed this earlier in the year, and we described this as it's going to replace Jenga for you in your household.
Oh, it's so cute. It's this abstract game where you're trying to stack ladders to the moon, and basically you're going to roll a die, and it's going to tell you how many ladders your ladder that you're placing can touch. Now they're all different shapes, so you're gonna have to figure out how you can stack it, and the only thing you don't want to happen is you don't want ladders to fall. And so the player who caused the least number of errors at the end of the game is gonna win.
Yeah, and so another family game, great family game, is Smart 10. That is for all you trivia lovers out there. Smart 10 is I think
it's by the Bananagrams people.
Yeah, it is by the Bananagrams people. Yeah. So Smart 10 is trivia, but what I like about it, it's a non-electronic trivia version, but it's also everybody can play. Unlike trivial, like people, you all read the question and then you pass it around and people are trying to answer. It's like
there'll always be 10 related to the prompt.
Yeah. So one question I can think of is like, what is like the most visited museums, and you have to like rank them in order.
Oh, that one's so hard because you have to go like 1 to 10. Or pick, I think this one's number 6.
Yeah. So
I like the color ones. Those ones are great. Basically, there's one that's like name the color that's missing from this movie title, the blank mile, and you have to say green, so it's fun.
Yeah, another great family game. This is a classic, and that is Survive. That is
Escape from Atlantis.
Survive, Escape from Atlantis. So that we included that in great games for the family. Wow, that was a throwback. That was our 3rd video we ever did. But it is a great game where you are all trying to individually escape from Atlantis, and you all have numbers underneath all of your meeples sitting on the board, but you get to look at them and then you place them on the island and you never look at those numbers again. And then you are trying to remember and get off the island, and the person that gets the most treasure off, which is those numbers underneath, wins the game. But you're trying to avoid sharks, you're trying to find a boat, you're trying to avoid the sea monsters, the whales. It's super fun.
Another great game for the family is Exit the Game by Cosmos. It's a series of escape rooms in a box where you're going to be solving puzzles with these cards, and the abandoned cabin is a great place to start. There's also Lord of the Rings Exit, which is all Lord of the Rings themed. It's a great family activity to just play it together once and be done with it.
All right, next up we got party games, and first up on that list is new to us, but we will be playing a lot over the holidays, and that is Tapple.
Ooh, love this game.
Yeah.
So basically you got this like circle with a bunch of buttons to tap around the corners of it, which are letters of the alphabet. There's a couple letters missing, Q, the harder ones. And you have to, basically you're given a prompt, cartoon shows, and you're gonna hit F and you're gonna go Fairly Odd Parents, and then you're gonna hit the button and you're gonna pass it to the next person. It's electronic and there's a 10-second timer. And so you're gonna go until someone can't think of a word that matches one of the letters that has not been chosen yet. And there is like a double overtime, triple overtime where you'll have to say 2 words and then 3 words if everyone survives. Super fun. I love this game. Next up on this list is Phantom Inc. So you have 2 players who are mediums talking to a spirit who has a secret word, and both teams are trying to figure out this word before the other team. So the way they're gonna do that is they're gonna hand in cards with questions on them. What sound does it make when it hits the floor? Would you take this to school? And they're basically going to slowly start writing the answer, and once you think you know what that word is, you're going to tell them to stop because you don't want to give too much of a clue to the other team. So you're going to take all those context clues based on the half-completed words, and you're going to try to be the first to guess what the word is.
Yeah, so we included this in our list of party games that don't suck, which all of those on this list I would still apply to this list, but Phantom Inc. is particularly a great game. We played that with some friends and they immediately went and bought it after we played it, so that's high praise. So next on this list is Gimme That, which is the same people that brought you Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza, which is an insanely popular party game right now. I love it. But Gimme That is their next one. And so basically you are counting potatoes. Yeah.
200.
So, yeah, you're trying to count potatoes, but you're rolling this dice, and it's telling you to do different things like smash the potato, pass the paper, and then do all these different
There's only one
things.
pencil.
Yeah, there's only one pencil. Oh, yeah, that's the big thing, is that you are trying to give me that, and grab the pencil from when the dice rolls and it says like, give me that. You're reaching across the table and grabbing that, whoever is trying to finish writing out all the potato numbers. So it is whoever can make it to the bottom of the list.
It's a good one. It's
fun.
goofy fun.
Yeah,
A lot of
like ages can play this, so it's great for younger kids as well. Last on this list is Strike, and Strike is super simple. It's battle of the dice. It's like you're in this battle arena and you're chucking.
It's like Beyblades.
Yeah. So you're throwing a dice in, and if pairs match up, then you get to take those dice and you get to keep them. And so basically it's whoever loses, whoever ends, the last one standing, whoever doesn't get out, because if you lose all your dice, you are out of that game. And this is great for the holidays. Last year we brought Strike and we created a whole Strike tournament.
We did. We had a whole bracket.
So yeah, I had my grandma out there playing, and she made it to the final round, and it's super easy to explain. Like, it's super easy to not really pay attention to what you're doing. It's all
just mindlessly play round after round.
Yeah.
It's so good. All right, this next category is one that's, I feel, really hard to find games for, and we have some really good options, and that is 8-player games. So it goes up to 6, 7 sometimes, but it hardly ever pushes 8. So on this list, first up, I gotta put Camel Up. This is a game where you are betting on these racing camels, and they're gonna be basically coming out of this like Egyptian dye dispenser pyramid. And the funny thing about this game is that the camels stack on top of each other, and if a camel on the bottom moves, it's gonna move all the camels on top. So we're all trying to bet like which camel's gonna win, and there's lots of upsets. It's a great fun.
Another 8-player game is Sushi Go Party. Now, we covered that on Great Games for the Family, so I guess that would also apply to that category. So in Sushi Go Party, if you've ever been to those sushi restaurants where there's that sushi belt and it is going around and you're trying to grab different sushi and bring it onto your plate, that is what this game is in cards. So you are passing your cards. So you have a set of cards, you play one, you pass that to the next, and you receive your cards from the person next to you. And then you place it again, it goes around, and you're trying to make up different order menus that get you different points at the end of the game. It's pretty simple to teach. You can get a lot of people playing this, up to 8. And we introduced it to a lot of people, and they have a lot of fun with it.
Next up on this list is a new one that is Ready, Set, Bet by John D. Clare from AEG. And you are basically betting on these racing horses. So you've got this whole big bet board where you're going to be throwing down bets for first place, second or first, third, second or first. Also these like special bets like blue's going to beat red and different horse combinations. And essentially one player is going to be the house. They're going to be rolling dice and they're going to be moving these horses. And so the 7 is going to be the most common number, of course, but then, the 10, 11, 12, if they get rolled twice in a row, they're going to shoot forward. So there's some really cool, interesting mechanics on like how the horses move that makes it so it's, kind of hard early on to guess who's going to win.
Next one is Werewords. Now, this replaced One Night Ultimate Werewolf for me, which probably a lot of people on the channel know. I'm not a huge fan of that, but Werewords is great. It's a party game as well. So the mayor of the town you're basically playing 20 questions.
Word.
Yeah, the mayor of the town has a secret word, and everyone is trying to guess the secret word. The trick is the werewolves know the secret word, but no one knows the werewolves, and they're trying to steer everyone away from guessing the secret word, and you as the villagers are also trying to guess the secret word as well as call out who the werewolf is. And it is a really fun game. Yeah, definitely replaces One Night Ultimate Werewolf for me. Yeah. And last on our list is Welcome To. You love this game.
Oh yeah, roll and write game, flip and write game, where basically cards are going to come out and you're going to be like designing the perfect neighborhood. So you're going to be writing house numbers down, you're going to be circling pools and parks at the end of the street, and it's a great game where it's all about planning ahead. You got to think like, what's likely to come up that will help me finish these housing blocks so that I can get lots of points for my plans. I just love this puzzle. You're playing in your own space. There's no interaction. It says 10 to 90, like 1 to 99 players. You can play.
Wow. Yeah, that's true.
Because you can basically, as long as you can see the cards, you can play.
As many sheets as you can get. That's how many people you can play with.
Yeah. All right, our last games on this list are Dudes on a Map games. I love Dudes on a Map games. If you like Risk or things like that, and you want something that's a bit more meaty, a bit more modern, these 3 games are great. First one on this list is Ankh, Gods of Egypt. So basically, you are these Egyptian gods who are moving around with your followers, and this game is all about gaining followers and then just using them.
Yeah.
So it's you just feel like this all-powerful god that's just constantly sacrificing your people. But really gorgeous minis in this game. The cool thing about this is that you're going to be drawing borders, so you're going to be changing how the board is kind of grouped up in terms of where you're fighting, and also there's an order in which conflicts resolve around the board, and that will actually if you get retreated to somewhere else based on some powers, that's going to then enforce now I can win this territory because it's changed since that conflict started. So really cool puzzles in this game. Really fun game.
Next on the list is Scythe. Now this is an extremely popular board game.
Top 3 for me forever.
Yeah, definitely. And so your person might already have Scythe. So if they do, then a great addition would be the Rise of Fenris campaign. It's an excellent addition to the game, and there's lots of other the airships you can add on and all sorts of stuff like that. But essentially Scythe takes place in a post-World War I universe where everyone is playing a different faction from across the globe, and you are trying to reinstate power, you are trying to farm, build up your land, control territories, stuff like that. But the thing is, there are robots, would you say? Machines that help, mechs that are that designed to help you, and different things, and they're designed by Nikola Tesla. So yeah, it's a super fun farming slight area control game. Last on our list is Northgard.
Ooh, okay, so this is a 4X game by Studio H, published by Hachette here in the US, where you are going to explore, expand, exploit, exterminate, and you are Vikings. It's based off of a video game that I just adore this game, but they have done such a fantastic job into making it into a sort of deck buildery, area control game where you're going to be expanding, getting lumber and food for the winter, and then just jumping on your opponents. There's going to be also creatures like wolves and drogers and all these creatures coming in to attack you. Gorgeous game, great art, great miniatures components. really, really highly recommend this game.
Yeah, and next week we're going to be doing a full review on Northgard, so you don't want to miss that to find out more information about this game. All right, so we have spoken a lot about games, accessories, all of that, but the question is, where are you going to get these? Where do you find them? So first we want to recommend is your local game store. Not because it is a wonderful thing you can do for them, but it is honestly a great way to find the game, because games will be sold out online. They'll be really hard to find, but I bet you your local game store has the game you are looking for, because we've been in a pinch sometimes where it does not exist online and we found it
New
at
stuff,
our
old
store.
stuff, out of print stuff, new Kickstarters, like whatever you want to find.
They have a lot of stuff there. And it's also great to support your local game store. A lot of times there are meetups going on there, and when you buy a game there, you are going to be supporting them. But now usually it is going to be above like Amazon and stuff like that, and it will be probably at full price, but it is going into a local business of people that really, really care about games.
And if you're looking for online purchases for your games, we have a couple stores we love to shop at. That's Game Nerdz, Miniature Market. Those are two great ones where you can usually find some of the best deals. In a pinch, we've also gone to Card House, and there's this site, Atomic Empire. It's a store in North Carolina that for some reason, every time everyone else has this thing out of stock, they have it.
Yeah.
So we've gotten some out of print stuff there. We've gotten some brand new stuff where I've ordered it there and I'm like, are you sure they have that in stock? And then it shows up within a week. So Atomic Empire has been a clutch pick.
They are amazing. And then along with Miniature Market, I saw that they are running a 70% off sale for Black Friday. So go check that out. But Atomic Empire, he was trying to get me the expansion to Seven Wonders Duel a couple years ago, and he could not find it anywhere, but Atomic Empire had it. So great call. In addition to those places, there's also places like Amazon. You're gonna get really fast delivery with that and a really good price. In addition, there's also like random places that you wouldn't think of, but
Kohl's.
Kohl's. Oh, and there's a really great one that you
Meijer.
want to find looking for good deals. There's going to be Barnes and Noble. They have a wide range of games, and a lot of times are offered at really good deals. There is also Target. They also have a great selection of games. If you're looking for some cheaper games, Walmart in the United States also has some good deals on that as well. But I will leave links to everything that we have mentioned down here below. I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday, whatever you're doing this season. We hope you're able to play a lot of amazing games while you do it. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can know whenever we put out a new video. And we'll see you next time. Happy playing!
Good girls.
Good girls!
Good girls all.